Hello students, Jai Hind, very good morning. Welcome back. In our last lecture number 7 of chapter 5, algebraic expression, we have discussed utilization of one particular identity. That particular identity which we have utilized in our last lecture, you know that identity and you remember it. It is like a plus b into a minus b equal to a square minus b square. Okay. Now, dear student, today's lecture is for understanding the utilization of the same identity which you have been explained in lecture number 6 and 7. Same identity to be utilized but in different way. How? First, dear student, today's lecture number 8, okay, chapter number 5, as you all know. Title of the chapter you all know, but I have to write algebraic expression. Okay. Now, dear student, before I start today's lecture, I have to explain you reverse utilization of both the identities which I have already explained. Both the identity which has been explained to you needs to be understood in reverse order. So, first thing what I am doing is that I am writing the instructions. See, dear student, till now in our lecture number 6 and 7, we have utilized the word expand or simplify, whatever. But you need to concentrate on the word expand. When we utilize the word expand, we have written the identity. Now I am utilizing a completely different word, factorize. So when I am writing factorize, understand that means, dear student, when I write factorize, okay, what you need to do is that you have to remember both the identity in reverse order. That means if I write first identity, what should I write? I have to write the first identity as this way. A square, see I am writing right to left, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now I am writing the left hand side equal to a plus b whole square. If you can remember that identity initially, so actually we have written the identity this way, a plus b whole square equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Here identity has been written in reverse order. I have written a square plus 2ab plus b square equal to a plus b whole square. So, dear student, you have to remember identity in reverse order to solve examples of factorization. Okay. Let me write another identity, a square minus 2ab plus b square Now I am writing the left side of the identity a minus b whole square. So that is the second identity which I have written in reverse order, and you will understand in today's lecture the reverse application of both the identity. Okay. When we are learning, dear student, reverse order of both identity, understand, under the title factorization, I am writing one word here. If you want to utilize both this identity for factorization, you have to understand a very important word, that is perfect square polynomial. You have to understand this word, perfect square polynomial. Okay, dear student, if given polynomial, remember, if given polynomial is perfect square polynomial, then you can apply both this identity. So dear student, whenever you are given any example of factorize, first you have to check whether given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial or not. If it is perfect square polynomial, then you can utilize both this identity. Okay. How can you decide whether given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not? So there is one process for determining either given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not, that we have to understood. Okay, dear student. So question number 1 today. Fact, decide whether given polynomial, decide, please write down with me, decide whether given polynomial is a perfect square, given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial, please write down the instruction in your book, class book. Decide whether given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial or not. If yes, means if it is perfect square polynomial, then factorize. Okay, dear student, first you write this instruction. Decide whether given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial or not. And if yes, means if it is a perfect square polynomial, understand, then we have to factorize it. Let me take, concentrate here. I am taking one polynomial. First, I will explain you how to check whether it is perfect square polynomial or not. Understand? So in first stage I will teach you a process of determining whether it is a perfect square polynomial or not. Once it is decided, And if it is yes, then how to factorize that I will teach you. Okay. So first, dear student, suppose you are given a polynomial like this. Okay. Suppose you are given polynomial like this, x square plus 10x plus 25. First, dear student, to verify, you are given this particular polynomial. You have to decide whether it is perfect square polynomial or not, and if yes, then we will factorize it. How to decide whether it is perfect square polynomial or not? This word needs to be implanted in your mind, perfect square polynomial. Okay, how can we decide? So for that, dear student, one process is there. Whenever you are given any polynomial, this is, as you know, first term. And first term એ કહે था ना. This is called last term. And this is called middle term. Okay. First term, last term and middle term. We have to understand a method to decide whether given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not. What is the process, dear student? I am explaining you the method to determine. Okay, what you should do, you have to remember one formula, MT, middle term. Ft means first term, Lt means last term, Mt means middle term. Okay. Now, dear student, remember one formula. Middle term equal to plus minus 2 into square root of first term into sign if you place, okay, if you don't place, okay, into plus minus 2 into square root of first term into square root of last term. This particular formula you have to remember to understand the method to determine whether given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not. You have to remember this formula. Okay. What is the formula? MT plus minus 2 into under root Ft. Ft means first term, Lt means last term. Let us substitute the value. Plus minus 2. Please note down with me. Under root first term. What is the first term here? X square. Under root last term. What is the last term here? 25. Now let us simplify it. Plus minus 2. Square root of x square is simply x. Square root of 25 is 5. That you all know very well. Square root of x square is always x. And square root of 25 is always 5, you know. Now you multiply all these 2 into x into 5, it is 10x. Okay. So, dear student, this way you got middle term. Okay. This is the formula to find middle term. Now concentrate. This is the middle term given. This is the middle term you found by formula. both middle term are equal. You can see here 10x, here also 10x. Remember dear student, when both the middle term are equal, matches equal, then you have to say therefore it is a perfect square polynomial. Please note down this. This is the first stage of the sum. Okay? It is a perfect square polynomial. Factorize we are learning in next stage. First dear student, this is the process. Every time if you are asked whether given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial or not, you have to do this many steps. You have to remember formula of middle term. You have to find the middle term. Whatever middle term you get, if it is equal to the given middle term, then you have to say it is a perfect square polynomial. Okay. Now I am explaining you dear student how to factorize. I am not doing it here. I am doing it here, but you continue. Okay. Now it is decided that it is a perfect square polynomial. Okay. Now dear student, and we are indulging in next stage. First you write this polynomial again. X square plus 10x plus 25. Already decided that it is a perfect square polynomial. Now you just continue in your book this way. Okay. Now we have to indulge in next stage. That means how to factorize it. Now dear student, which formula is applicable? First one, because all term are positive, here all term are positive. How to do it? See dear student, first you have to express this polynomial in this format. Here which is the first term a square. So you will take the square root of this and write in bracket x whole square. Square root of x square is x whole square. Here plus sign, here also plus sign. Don't write the middle term now. Last term plus. What is the last term? B square. How to write here? Take the square root of this term. What is the square root of 25? 5 whole square. A square and B square. Now what is in the middle term? 2ab. So first I will write 2. In place of a, I have to write the square root of first term, that is x. In place of b, I have to write the square root of last term, that is 5. This is how I express the given polynomial in this particular format. How I am arranging in format, that is very important for you to understand. What is the format of the identity? A square plus 2ab plus b square. For a square, you will take square root of the first term. X square is the first term. What is its square root? X. So x whole square. Middle term sign as it is. For b square, square root of the last term 5 whole square. 2ab, that is the middle term. 2 as it is, it's a part of the formula. In place of a, x, in place of b, 5. Here if you multiply this, 2 5 are 10x, you are already getting. And now, dear student, the final answer. What is the answer? A plus b whole square. So instead of a, I have to write x. Instead of b, I have to write 5 whole square. This is factorization step. Understand, verify it properly. We will solve 2 to 3 examples of the same type, but first you need to verify the steps I have done. I have first decided whether given polynomial is perfect square or not. Once I have decided that given polynomial is a perfect square polynomial, then I have done steps to factorize it. Okay? In textbook, when I give homework today, in textbook there is a simple instruction factorize, but dear student, do not direct do this step. First, you will do this step to decide whether it is a perfect square polynomial or not. Okay? Let us take a few more examples to understand it in more detail. Okay? First one, let us take the second one. Okay? Second one, let me take. Okay? Suppose the example is like this: 4x square plus here 49 y square, okay, and here 28xy. You have to factorize, no doubt at all. But before factorize, I want you to decide whether it is perfect square polynomial or not. Okay? Let us do it. What is the first step, dear student? You will write the formula of middle term, plus minus 2 into under root first term into under root last term equal to plus minus 2 into under root first term, that is 4x square, last term, that is 49y square, plus minus 2. Let us take out the square root of 4x square. It is 2x, you know this. Square root of 49y square, it is 7y. Now simple multiplication of this. 2 2 ja 4, 7 ja 28xy. This is the middle term we found by formula, and this is the middle term given. Both are matching, both are equal. That means you have to say it is a perfect square polynomial. Okay? It has been decided that it is a perfect square polynomial. For steps of factorization, let me write the polynomial again. Okay, and let me utilize the first identity and set the format accordingly. Remember, dear student, this step is very important. Format a square, what you will write? Square root of the first term in bracket whole square. This is a square. Don't place middle term first. B square. Square root of last term in bracket 7y whole square. What is the format of the middle term 2ab? 2 as per the formula, in place of a you will write square root of the first term, in place of b you will write square root of the last term. Already expressed in the format, now a plus b whole square, that's the answer. Instead of a, what you will write? 2x. Instead of b, what you will write? 7y whole square. Sum is solved, dear student. We still want to practice two more such type of example, but before that, please collect this particular type of example in your mind, okay? First part, you have to decide either it is a perfect square polynomial or not, and in the second part, just in two stage, you have to factorize. Please note down, I am giving you a little time to understand the method, understand the step, and then we will go for the next, okay? First you verify this, dear student, before we go for another two examples. Okay, you must have understood properly. Let us go for one more example. Okay. Suppose the polynomial is given like this: 25 x square here 121 y square, here 110 xy. Please first write down the polynomial, okay, and then I will explain you how to factorize this polynomial, okay. Right? Okay. Let us do the method of deciding either it is a perfect square polynomial or not. Plus minus 2 square root of first term into square root of last term plus minus 2. First term is 25x square, last term is 121y square plus minus 2 square root of 25x square is 5x, square root of 121y square is 11y. If I multiply all these, 2 5 ja 10, 11 ja 110xy matches with the middle term already given, okay. So you can write it is a, this is compulsory, dear student, to write. It is a perfect square polynomial. Now when you say that it is a perfect square polynomial, now time to factorize this polynomial. Okay, how to factorize, which identity will be applicable here? Second one. Why? Because middle term is negative here. So we will apply the second identity. How? First, a square, that means square root of the first term 5x whole square. Middle term just sign, don't place middle term, plus b square, that means square root of the last term 11y whole square. Format of the middle term is 2ab, so 2 into a means 5x, b means 11y. It is already expressed in format. Answer is a minus b whole square instead of a 5x, instead of b 11y whole square. Perfect square polynomial is already factorized. Understood, dear student? This is the way you have to perform the complete examples of perfect square polynomial. Okay, in still just now still one more sum we want to do, okay, of perfect square polynomial. Then I will give you some explanation about when given polynomial is already given perfect square polynomial, how to find first term or last term. Middle term, so you know how to find. Okay, right. Let us take the next one. One more example to strengthen this process, method, and topic in your mind. Okay, let us take example number 4. Right, I am writing one example. Okay, suppose the example is like this. Suppose 9m square minus, okay, here let me write something, plus suppose 169n square, okay, and here 78 mn, right, 78 mn. Okay, let us do it. First, dear student, the process finding middle term, if at least once I am not writing the formula, I am directly writing plus minus 2 square root of first term. What is the first term here? 9m square. Square root of last term, what is that? 169n square, plus minus 2 square root of this 3m, square root of this 13n. If you multiply them, you are already getting 78 mn. That means the middle term which you found by formula matches with the middle term given in the polynomial. So you can write that it is a perfect square polynomial. Now when you say it is a perfect square polynomial, write it once again to factorize 9m square minus 78mn plus 169n square. Let us apply the second identity. Okay, what is that? A square, square root of first term minus plus b square, square root of last term minus 2ab, 2 into 3m into 13n. Polynomial which is a perfect square has been expressed in format. What is the answer? A minus b whole square. Instead of a 3m, instead of b 13n whole square. Polynomial is factorized. Understand, this is the way you can factorize any polynomial. Okay, actually in your textbook there is no precise way explained to determine whether the given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not. There is no precise way, but we have to, even in exam, you have to do this step to decide whether given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not. Then and then you have to factorize. We are going for one more difficult example, but before that, please verify each and every step here. First you verify, then I take one more complicated example. First you verify this. Verify these steps involved in the method. These all steps are compulsory. Okay. Let me take one more difficult example. Okay. Suppose you are given example like this. Try to understand this. Suppose you are given example like this: x minus y whole square plus 2 into x minus y plus 1. When you look at the sum, you feel it little difficult to understand because all example which you solved just now, nowhere in the first term and middle term you have seen the brackets. So when such example come in front of you, at least once it may confuse you a little bit. So what you should do, dear student, when such example you come across, I want to remove this bracket first. So let me suppose it, let x minus y equal to m. You can suppose anything, a, b, whatever. Okay. Now let me write this polynomial again. Instead of x minus y, I will write m. So now it is m square plus 2m plus 1. Now this is the polynomial. Let us now indulge ourselves in the process. Middle term. Formula you all know, plus minus 2 into square root of first term into square root of last term plus minus 2 square root of first term into square root of last term plus minus 2 square root of m square, that is m, square root of 1, that is 1, you multiply plus minus 2m. You got the middle term matching with the given, so you can say it is a. It is a perfect square polynomial. Now, when you say that it is a perfect square polynomial, write it again for factorization. M square plus 2m plus 1, all terms are positive, so we will apply the first identity. A square, that means the square root of first term, don't write middle term. B square, square root of last term, 1 square. 2a means m, b means 1. Now let us factorize it. A plus b whole square, m plus 1 whole square. But dear student, the original polynomial never have m. So this is not your final answer. M you have supposed as x minus y. So instead of m you will write x minus y. So your final answer will be, in place of m I will write x minus y plus 1 as it is whole square. Verify the steps, dear student. Not so difficult to understand, but bracket in first term or maybe in last term or middle term may confuse you a little bit, but there is no need to get more confusion in mind. Just remove the bracket in initial stage by supposing it as m, a, b, whatever you can suppose, okay? And finally, when you decide and factorize, again instead of m you substitute its value, whatever you have supposed, m plus 1 whole square, that's the final answer. We have supposed m as x minus y. So you see here, in place of m I have written x minus y, this plus 1 as it is. Understand? So this is, dear students, still what I have explained you in today's lecture is simply an idea about how to decide whether given polynomial is perfect square polynomial or not, and accordingly factorize. In your textbook, when I am delivering homework for this lecture, remember dear student, there is simple instruction factorize. Doesn't mean that you have to follow textbook, okay? So exam homework for you, some illustration I am giving, okay? Illustration 21, 22. Both the illustration you have to do 3 illustration, 21, 22, 23, and then from assignment 5.4 you have to do example number 6 and 7, okay? This is your homework. From illustration you will do number 21, 22, 23. From assignment 5.4 you will complete example 6 and 7. This is your homework. Okay, dear student, for today's lecture, right? Revise each and every sum again and again. Note down in your book, understand the basic concept of the sum. After understanding the basic concept of the sum, then and then perform such type of examples. Okay? Thank you very much.